Hey everybody, welcome back to Fishing Outside the Box, and today is a good day because we are going crappie fishing. So I'm going to be going out with Matt Scotch. He is a local DFW stick, I think you could call him. He does bass fishing and crappie fishing guides on mainly the Brazos or the Brazos River chain lakes, and he also does some KBF kayak bass fishing tournaments. So guy's a hammer. I don't know if I've ever told you the story of last spring when I hooked into a 13-pounder and broke it off. That was with him on the Brazos River bass fishing. So we're gonna go out with him, doing something a little different with him this time, and we're doing some crappie fishing. So you know me, I gotta tie up some jigs, so we're gonna powder coat some real quick and tie up some jigs real quick. And we got to be out there by 11. I'm not sure how much he's gonna want me to film on the spots there, because he's had a problem with a lot of hole buzzards in the past. So he's trying to manage that and preserve his spots there. So I'll try to be respectful of him and his business. For sure film whatever I can, but if nothing else, I will show you the end result of what we catch on these crappie jigs. So stay tuned, and we'll see what we can put together and try to make a good little video for y'all. I had rats get into all my fly tying stuff. Ridiculous. But you can see, made a big mess of all my stuff. But we'll try to bounce back here and make some jigs real quick. The reason I like hair jigs so much is because they are durable and you can use them all day and not have them bust on you, as opposed to soft plastics where they always getting torn up. Plus it's something that I can do. I don't have the ability yet to really make soft plastic crappie baits, so we're gonna tie up some crappie jigs. All right, we got our heat gun ready and our powder coat. This I'm going to be doing on some glow heads, just a little something different, maybe some chartreuse. These are 1/16 ounce round heads, and they have the sickle hook, which I really like. They have a light enough wire to where when you pull on them in the brush, they straighten out and you can get your jig back, but they won't straighten out on your typical crappie. So you just take your little jig head and you heat it up over the heat gun till it gets hot. Dip it in your powder coat. Your powder coat has to be kind of fluffed up, and then tap it off. And I would like to reset it on the heat gun. Some people bake them in the oven. I don't have time for that, and it leaves you with a really nice little finish on your jig head. I also will double dip them too, just to get a good solid coat on them. So here we go. Just fluff this up with a little something. Get it? Bring it up. Get it up. Get it again. Bring it up. Boom. Perfect jig head that glows. Okay, that's 6 of the glow. That's probably plenty of that. If I end up making 6 of each, that's 12. That's probably all I have time to tie for today. Fluff our chartreuse up a little bit. Got them all dry in here. Okay, let's see what we can come up with here. I'm gonna go for 3 really natural ones. So, the thing with crappie jigs is you can't really make them too durable. So do everything you can to make them tough. So what I like to do start my thread and put just a little something on there, super glue, something to secure all that. Wrap to the hook point. We're gonna put a little flash in there. Tie all that fun stuff in. I'm using mono thread, by the way. I guess it's not really thread. My favorite piece of bucktail that I cut off of a dead deer on the side of Interstate 20. Don't judge. A little bit of bucktail. We're going to straighten it all out. Looking good. And then kind of spread all that bucktail around the hook shank. You always want to have a loose wrap at the very back, and that kind of holds all the bucktail together. If you do a tight wrap, then it makes all the hairs flare out. So lock that in, and let's get rid of all that extra. All right, and now all we need is a little more super glue. Really lock this chenille in. The chenille is what their top teeth hit all the time. And we're just gonna go with this, I think this is like a medium chenille. Regular chenille, I don't know. It's a nice sparkly, natural chenille. Start it right there. Wrap it back. Now, I never like to wrap past the hook point. You want a nice short body. It's tempting to wrap further, but you don't want to do that. Or I don't want to do that, I guess I should say. You can do whatever you want. I like the short body. Secure that end. Clip that chenille off. Dig around for your lip finish tool. Nothing fancy because we're gonna super glue it anyways. Lip finish. I bring the thread around to the bottom. Snip. And some more super glue to secure all that right there. Boom. That is a finished jig. And what this big bodied chenille does is it makes a really slow fall. And I like that. I'm going to make 3 of those real quick. For everybody wondering, this is how you thread a bobbin. Get it started. Boom. All right, we're set up here, we're suited up, and we're ready to hit the water. Got the jigs tied up. Well, the place we ended up catching them was kind of a spot with a lot of visual clues. So I didn't film at the dock that we were at, but ended up with a nice mess of crappie. Yeah. Salvaged the day. Came in clutch. I'm gonna knock the sides off of these real quick and hit the road. Alright everybody, it's the next morning. Last night we finally got on them and ended up catching somewhere in the teens between me and Matt. That is keepers. We probably caught at least that many unders, crappie that were too small to keep, but the place we ended up catching them in was pretty easily identifiable, and he's had problems before, like I mentioned, with what we call hole buzzards. People that see where you're catching them and they go there and tell everybody else about it, and the spot gets blown. It's a shame that that's a part of our fishing community, but it happens. So sometimes you have to manage that. If you're running a business out of it like Matt is, you have to be careful and manage that properly. So I did not end up filming there and showing y'all that. So today I have picked up my father-in-law's kayak, the one I normally use, and I'm headed out to some of my crappie spots to see if I can put something together for you to see, for y'all to see, and we'll see what happens. So I have a few places in mind. There still is a little bit of wind today. We might be fighting wind, but we'll see what we can do. And so here's day 2. Stay tuned. This is what they ended up hitting yesterday. Chartreuse head, like a medium crystal chenille, and some bucktail on the end. Nice dark top. The medium chenille makes it fall slow. So far I haven't been able to put anything together. The water is freezing cold here, but this is my last spot I'm gonna try, I think, on this lake. And I don't think I've ever been to this spot and not caught a crappie. It's the deepest spot on the lake. It's a dam. So there's some brush down here. See what we can do. I think I just figured something out. I caught 2 fish really quick. Neither of them was a keeper, but we're doing it the old-fashioned way today. It takes forever to develop a pattern when you have no feedback except catching a fish, so we'll keep trying this little spot that I figured out. See if we can nab a few more. There are probably 20 feet down there right in this corner. I think they're sitting right on that current seam because of this wind. And just eating everything that comes by, including my jigs. There we go. That's a keeper. Should be a keeper. Yes, sir. First keeper of the day. They're way down there. It's a nice big one. Come here, buddy. Ooh, that's a dandy. Trying not to show the whole lake that I'm catching fish over here. Nice crappie. Alright, this is looking promising. Let's do this. There's another. There's no way this is a keeper. Well, there he goes. He almost fell in my basket. Well, that concludes this part of day 2. That kayak is too small for me, so I sit down in the water and my legs and my rear end get wet, so it was cold. But considering the whole situation, we got out of it all right. It took us several hours to figure out just a tiny little bite down on the dam, and then it wasn't consistent. It was like real sporadic. So caught 2 keepers, caught several unders, probably about a dozen, probably less. It wasn't a great day. I'm gonna maybe go try another spot, and this is winter fishing for you, and it's fishing without a boat. So I need to get my boat fixed, but it had bigger problems than I could have ever dreamed that it would. So it's gonna take a lot of money to fix it. And money doesn't grow on trees, especially when you are trying to start a YouTube channel. So hang in there. We'll try to get some more catches for you, but I think the jigs I tied have been a success. I did use some other ones today because they were a little bit heavier and I needed to get way down in some deep brush. So we've been able to catch a few fish. It is a few days before New Year's, so it is the middle of December. So it's a grind, but hey, I had a nice day out on the water. It was like, I think it was in the high 60s, maybe 70 today. And it was a beautiful day. We had fun. That's what it's all about. So on to the next spot. All right, y'all. So I'm editing this right now, and I think I'm gonna cut the video off right here. I did end up going to another spot, actually a new spot that I wanted to try out, and I ended up doing very well there. So I think there's enough fish catches in that next spot to where I can make it a completely separate video, and we'll continue this crappie thing on. I would like to make a Box and Beyond series about crappie fishing, about all the things I've learned over the years and the techniques and different tips and stuff. So that should be coming up soon. I'm kind of putting making lures for people on hold, just because there's some logistics I'm trying to work out right now with that stuff. But I do plan on doing that in the future. So thank you all for all your support, and we will continue this thing on. So thank you for watching Fishing Outside the Box, and we'll see you shortly on the next one.